So good morning, everyone. Nice to have you here. Nice to see you here this morning. Today, I would like to share some of my experience with you, traveling around 67 countries the last 2 years, just showing how the Google results are changing, how the search, the first page of Google, is changing, is evolving all the time. And we have some data, because we at SEMrush, we really love data. And we want to show you how those changes are affecting you today and how you can take advantage of that. So, how to be the number one? For asking that question, we need to, how to be better than number one. For answering that question, we need to see things like this. Well, this is me. This is my previous photography when I was 20 kilos less, because I'm on the new keto diet right now. Yeah. And of course, this is the numbers of our company. We're about 700 people. We are working in our main office in Boston, Philadelphia, then Dallas. I'm coming from Czech Republic with my colleague Adam, who is sitting right there. We have a booth over there also, if you want to chat a little bit later. And of course, companies that are talking about us, a lot of them. And these are some of our clients. So with this kind of guys, we really understood what are the needs of marketing teams. And let's see this. We know that having an agency is kind of a problem. Sorry, Jim. Because we know that some agencies, some companies, they don't have much results. So they're promising, we're going to improve your visibility, your online visibility, we're going to improve your results, but they're not doing so well. And some others, they are just continuing producing the same results. But the one up there, the green circle, are the ones who wants to change the things. So changing the metrics, changing the situation, but how? So let's take a look at some results. Oh, this place good? Okay, it's good. So, oh, that slide is slightly. Okay, so these are two captures of the search. So that's the first page of Google in 2010 and 2018. So as you can see, Google has changed a lot lately. A lot of ads, a lot of search features, but how things are looking today. So let's see, search in 2019. When you're trying to search something new on Google, you have several kind of results, not the ones that we used to receive. For example, let me show you this. This is, I believe, in Danish. So how is the weather, for example, right? And I received here a big feature snippet over there below the ads. So that's something strange, right? Okay, how we can optimize our content for being that number one. So we have analyzed 6.9 million feature snippets, those boxes that you saw after the questions. And we also analyzed 80 million keywords, just to understand how these results are organized, what type of results we can have. And of course, we need to understand what these type of results really matter to you. You say, okay, feature snippet, what is that? How is it related to this conference? So, with feature snippet, you get much more traffic because you are more visible. That's the first result. That's something that Google is pushing to show you. And in most of the languages, English, Spanish, Italian, Portuguese, also in the Nordic countries, they have feature snippets as well. And of course, that will increase your CTR. People are going to click on that result. And that's going to be something really useful for having more revenue, which is the company's goal. But that's not everything. We found out that the feature snippets are right now the basics, the fundament of voice search. So voice search, if you are using any device, for example, Alexa, Amazon, or Google Home, you are receiving a result that is coming from feature snippets. So let's take a look. We also managed to make a research based on voice search. And you will say, Here are our numbers. We managed to ask voice device 20,000 questions, 20,000 search queries on 3 devices. I'm going to show you the devices, and we have analyzed 8 ranking factors. So the secrets to how to be there. Just for an instance, we choose these 3 devices: Google Home Mini, and Android, any Android phone. And you can say, okay, but you just mentioned that you have also Siri, you have also Amazon. Yes, but we care about the source of data. That's why we analyze only digital assistants that are receiving their data from Google. So let's say we have here Google Assistants operating, of course, in Chrome, and their data 100% comes from Google. The data from Alexa, the data is coming from Bing. My question here, how many of you are using Bing? 3 people. Okay, that's good, 97% are not using Bing. Most commonly, the question is, how many of you are not using it at all? Cortana, also, 100% of the results are coming from Bing. And as you can see, Siri, the thing with Siri is that 35% of their results are coming from Bing, 50% from Google, and the other 50%, nobody knows where it's coming from. So that's why we choose to study only Google Assistant, because 100% of the data is coming from Google, which makes our experiment more clean. So in theory, that's how the experiment should have looked like. A computer talking with another computer, because 20,000 search queries are a lot of search queries, right? But it's not possible like that. We hire a guy, and we put it 3 months on this box. He was asking all the time 20,000 search queries. Well, the guy is not working anymore with us, but we have the results. And the results are pretty amazing. You want to see it? So first, key findings. 80% of the answers that are coming from voice search are coming from top 3 organic results. So it is important to be in the top 3, not top 4, top 5, top 3 results of organic results. So the first 3 results are important because the voice, 80% of the voice results queries are coming from them. And of course, if we manage to analyze a little bit deeper, we need to understand those 3 top results, because Google, they have their own results, which are called feature snippets. And those feature snippets are really interesting, because some of them are our feature snippets, so the search features that we call feature snippets, and 11% of them are people also ask boxes. So when you are searching for something on Google, you mostly ask, you're asking questions all the time. What is the weather in Oslo? What is the weather in Amsterdam? How to fix a computer? Where to buy a new pair of shoes? So you're asking questions. That's why this kind of result is such an important thing in our research. So let's take a look. Answer in a search feature, 71%, a feature snippet, 61%, just on Google Home. People also ask 11%, but in mobile devices, people also ask is even more. So that kind of technology that is powered by machine learning, 4 years ago, Google started with RankBrain, using artificial intelligence to understand the context of your content on your website. So that's the kind of technology that is right now implemented on our cell phones. So let's take a look. We have here the question. For example, how many airports are in the USA? And the assistant is replying. According to Quora, so the assistant is mentioning the source. So the source is the name of the domain, which means that the branding for the company is going to be still there. And the next, the rest of the reply. As you can see here, that part of the text is coming from a feature snippet, which is the box over there. Let's see another question. It is healthy to eat squash, and you can see there on the website, the answer is thedailymeal.com, they say. So they are mentioning again the domain. So the branding for the company that is producing the content is not going to be lost. It's going to be there, which is a win for the branding of this website. But the result is taken not from the feature snippet, but from the people also ask box, which is a completely different result. Why? Because it's not in the first position. It's also, it's commonly below a little bit. This is the fourth result. I'm going to tell you some details about that a little bit later. So now we know that being on a feature snippet is kind of a very important thing right now. And it's just not for today, but in a year, in a couple of years, when the voice assistants are going to be the trend, the new trend, because most of the companies are investing a lot of money in such technologies, is going to be a huge difference. Why? Because most of the companies are not using those kind of results today for their own keywords. So let's try to understand them. The first, we have analyzed the 80 million feature snippets, and we figured it out that they have three types. The first type of feature snippets are the paragraph, which are like this. As you can see, it's a paragraph. For example, my question here is, can I drink tap water in Wrocław? Right? That's in Poland. But I can say, and I already know this, can I drink tap water in Amsterdam? I will have, and you can type that on your mobile phone, on Chrome, of course, and you will receive a beautiful feature snippet answering that question. Can I open a bank account in Amsterdam on Saturdays? Where can I get insurance for my car? The first result should be a feature snippet. But if you don't have, for any kind of question, feature snippet, that means that companies are not doing very well here. So that's the first type of feature snippet, the paragraph. The second type of feature snippets are the list feature snippet, which is a list, can be ordered with numbers or unordered, just with bullet points. For example, my question here is, this again in Danish, how to make pasta. And you can see here, I have 4 points to make pasta, right? Okay. It's pretty much clear. Yeah? Just put some water, put the pasta over there, and voila, it's done. But there are some secrets about that. That's not a very good result. I'm going to tell you why. So, and the third type of feature snippets are this one. These are my favorites. Why? Because they're huge, as you can see there. These are the table feature snippets. As you can see here, my question is World Series MVPs. And you can see the year, the name of the MVPs, the stars. Oh yes, the record as well. So all the information in a beautiful table. So for example, if you have a business, a company, you want to have this kind of results for when your office are opening, when your branch are closing, when you have when you are admitting visits, where you can find more information that is not meant to go to your website. You want to make it more public, more free, more easy to use. For example, in January, I was in Australia, in the Monash University in Melbourne, and the students there, they usually go to Google to see where is the next course for the next semester. And they just type philosophy faculty 2020. And the whole results, the name of the class, the name of the tutorial, the name of the professor is there on the Google results. Fantastic. They don't need to do anything else. So this is a kind of really, really great result. So we have three, paragraph, list, and table. So what keywords are activating this kind of results? And here comes the secret, right? We have analyzed the keywords that are actually activating those type of results. And we find out that the most of them are questions, which makes sense, right? But that's not it. Why? Because questions are activating right now only 41% of the feature snippets. The second layer here is the preposition keywords. They're also activating about 70% of those feature snippets. And the last one are the comparison keywords. So we have 3 types of feature snippets that are being activated by 3 types of keywords. The question keywords, preposition, and comparison. Let's take a look about those. Oh, and the question keywords are really great. Why? Because the number of results are increasing by 480% per year. That means for every industry, every single question, they're going to have a feature snippet in the nearest years. So let's take a look at this. Question feature snippet. Question keywords that are activating feature snippets. Most of them are here. As you can see here, all the questions, they are activating mostly the paragraph feature snippet. Why, will, does, do, can. All are activating the paragraph feature snippet, as you can see here. But we have one question, only one. And that's something really interesting. How? How is activating mostly the list feature snippet. So when you are trying to understand any kind of process, any kind of situation, you are asking how to use your product, how to tie a tie, how to open a bank account. So if you want to help your users, your clients, you need to use how. And imagine what? Google is giving us the list feature snippet to show your users how to do the thing you want to show them, how to use my security life system, whatever question it is, starting with how. The rest of questions, the only thing that are activated are are paragraph feature snippets. So let's take a look. For example, here we can see another question and the feature snippet. 41% of the questions, they have already feature snippets. The second one are the preposition feature snippets. And you can say, okay, what about the preposition keywords? So the preposition keywords are, for example, for, like, to, with, without. In any language, they have prepositions. We already studied that. And of course, most of them are activating or the paragraph or the list feature snippets. Just some of them are activating the table feature snippets, as you can see here. So with the preposition feature snippet, you can use paragraph or also list. How you can use this? So let's take a look, for example, iPhone without SIM card. I'm not asking anything. I'm just using a preposition. Or I can say house with pool, or house with 2 rooms, department in the street 25. Just using prepositions, Google is showing you also results. That's pretty amazing. And the last one are the comparison feature snippets. So the comparison feature snippets are really great for e-commerce, for products. Why? Let's take a look. The comparison keywords, for example, compare, pricing, price, comparing, are the last part of the buyer's journey, are the last part of the funnel. Why? Because what's happening when a user is searching for the price of a product or service? That means he's willing to buy the product, right? Or he's willing to compare the prices between 2 different products. That's why these kind of results are really good. But take a look at this one. Price is the only keyword that is activating the table feature snippet. Not the rest, only price. And of course they have the paragraph, the list, but only price is activated the paragraph feature snippet. So we can use that in our stores. Let me show an example. So for example, I have here princess cut versus round cut for our wedding ring. Both are extremely expensive, right? $40,000, $25,000, extremely expensive. But Google is showing us here in a text, telling us which one is the best one to buy between 2 rings. Here, princess cut, you can see $75,000, the other one $10,000. Go with the $10,000 because it's better saving your money, right? So with this kind of results, you can also put your products. And take a look at this. This is Google Shopping. So you're comparing products. But here is the smart thing. You have a suggestion from a website, and Google is giving them a feature snippet to do that. So, how we can get there? Most of the people were asking, oh, I need to have developers, I need to have different type of programmers to do that. No, it's very easy to be there if you only have copywriters, content strategists, or blog editors. Let me show you how. For example, we have this type of results. How much content you should write? We have analyzed all the keywords, all the feature snippets, and we found out that the average number of words in each paragraph needs to be 46. And the maximum of characters, of course, 272. This kind of result, for example, my search query, how many companies in Canada, right? So how many companies in Canada? The first result 4 years ago was the Chamber of Commerce of Canada, which is a governmental structure. 3 years ago was the Wikipedia. But today is a company called Salesforce, which was always in the second page of Google. These days was in the 4th position, but being in the 4th position, Google rewards them because they have the appropriate format to be there with this position 0, with a feature snippet. So that's why having the right amount of words after the question, not too much content, of course, only the right one, we will always go with the average, you will have that kind of result. So no more Chamber of Commerce, no more Wikipedia. Right now, Salesforce, a company that has nothing to do with companies in Canada, I mean with the definition of companies in Canada, is right now on the position 0. So 3 advices here. For getting the paragraph feature snippet, you need to create content no more than 40 or 60 words range. Also, you need to be very clear, specific with the content, and also avoid giant walls of text. Why? Because most of the snippets right now are showing up on these small screens. And imagine, when you have a lot of text on your cell phones, when you have a lot of text here, you're gonna do, no, I'm not gonna read this. But if you have just the number of words, 42 or 60, that's the enough amount of text, easy to read. Let me show you this with some other numbers. The hierarchy of the structure of the content, as we found out, needs to be like this: 22 headers and subheaders. What it means? That means that we have the H1, it might be the first question, how to tie a tie, how to buy insurance from this company, how to, oh, you know what is the most popular search query in the Netherlands for Instagram? That's a good one, but people are not that nice. How to delete my Instagram account? Because it's impossible to delete it. You need to find out where is it, wait, the confirmation from the confirmation. Oh my God, it's really, really difficult. Okay, and the number one a couple of years ago was how to delete my Facebook account, because it's also really difficult. Okay, so with this kind of a structure, as you see here, is the perfect place for which type of content? Content that is very informational, content that you're really answering the questions from your users. Yes, I believe all of the domains should have this type of web page. Questions and answers, knowledge base, the questions that are asking people most frequently asked questions, but in the right format, in the right way, as we are showing here. 22 headers and subheaders are the best results for this type of, oh my God, I can hear my voice. For this type of results. Also, we find out that 80% of them are already secure. When you're on Chrome, you can see that the page is secure or no based on the status of the protocol HTTP or HTTPS. When it's HTTP, usually Google says, get out of here, close the page, don't do anything here, right? So most of them are now HTTPS. And this is something really interesting. And this is a formula from a guy from here, from Flash. This is his algorithm. He's telling us that the scoring for the easy reading level needs to be 83.6. That means that this is the text, the content needs to be really easy to understand by a 7th grade kid. That means for an 11, 12 years old kid needs to understand this. If you want to try your text, your content with this kind of algorithm, just go to Fleshkin easy read algorithm on Wikipedia. You can just copy paste your text and you will have your scoring. Maybe the text that you're writing right now is kind of difficult to understand. You need to control this kind of stuff. And of course, some other findings. We found out that for having a feature snippet, you need to use about 12 images. That's the average. I heard a lot when people are creating a piece of content, a blog post, or a product page for certain services or products, they say to their copywriters, please add just 3 pictures. Just a couple of pictures, that's fine. For this type of results, 12 images is the average. And of course, if you are willing to get feature snippet, you need to specify what is on that image. And you can say, okay, we're in 2019, Google, they are using, of course, artificial intelligence for image recognition. Yes, but they're still a robot. They don't understand what is in the specific images, because we saw when companies are not using, when websites are not using alt text specifying what is in the image, Google is not showing those images. So that means that's also a factor that you need to use. For example, here, how to write a definition of that image. So Earth seen from outer space, Earth seen from the space, wherever. And of course, when we are talking about more SEO, more search engine optimization, we're talking about links, and the average amount of links that we found out here are 33 outgoing links, 33 external links pointing out to your web page. So that means that the content needs to be really relevant, really useful, not only for users, but also for another structures. For example, magazines, journals, and other companies, universities, wherever that has some relevance on the internet. And of course, for having the least snippet, we have a few secrets here. If you want to make people click on that result, use more than 8, as you can see here, use more than 8 elements. The average amount of elements is from 5, the maximum is 8, and the words are 81 to 57. As you can see here, if you are using more than the average, more than 8, Google is gonna put a button that is called See More, Show More Items, and that's it. If you have that button, people are gonna click on that result. There are a lot of web posts, there are a lot of content on the internet that is, for example, with this kind of names, the top 10 tourist bloggers, in the Netherlands, the top 10 best Netflix series. And you have, okay, number 1, number 2, number 3. Okay, I already have the knowledge about the number 1. I don't want to know the rest. But if you change the numbers, okay, Google is only capable of showing 8 results there. So number 10, number 8, number 3. Oh, where is the number 1? People are gonna click on that result. Also, how to make pasta. You remember my result? Only 4 points. People are not gonna click on that result because they're receiving all the information. If you can make how to do something more than in 8 points, Google is gonna put you that result. So, create lists with more than 8 items. So people are gonna click on that result. They are gonna go directly to your website. Use longer lists. And of course, lists are really great for any type of content. Table snippets. So the thing here is pretty much similar as the list feature snippets. Why? Because we have the average amount, for example, of rows is 5 till 7, the maximum 7. The columns are 3, the maximum 4. But if you have more, Google is gonna put that bottom, show more items, and people are going to go directly to your website. So use more items. Create tables that Google will truncate, will cut with that button that says show more items, and you're going to achieve that encourage for people to go directly to your website. And of course, the image. When we go to the Google blog for users, we see this text. For getting a featured snippet, the size of the image must be 4:3, the aspect ratio. Okay, we try a lot of 4:3 because the in pixels, that's a lot of work, and not even one of these works, only this one. This is the size that we saw. If you are using the 600 wide to 425 high, the right image for your featured snippet, you're going to have that result. The other 4:3 are just not working. So this is the working list for your teams. You can give this kind of list to your copywriters, content creators, content strategies to create, to repurpose, to remake, to start new pieces of content. For example, let's get more paragraph featured snippet. So the average amount of words after this question needs to be 44, the maximum 108. Let's get list featured snippets, or the table featured snippet. So these are all the numbers as you can use for working with your content. It's not important that you are using all content. That's even better. If you have the right amount of words, that's everything that you need to have. And if you are asking if I need to use some structured data or schema, Google say that that's not really important for this kind of result. But if you are using a schema or structured data, that's of course a big plus. That's a quality metric for the content that you're delivering to users. The question here that it takes on the air is, what is PAA? So remember, PAA is not a featured snippet, because as you can see, we have over here the featured snippet, and PAA is over there. It's below the featured snippet box. So PAA, or people also ask, is not also a related search that is usually at the bottom of the first page of Google, at the SERPs. People also ask are other questions that users are asking to Google. And just to understand how Google is working with this kind of result, you need to see that Google is trying to interpret more the things that you want. They're trying to anticipate the things that you want to have. Just asking, for example, here I have why C is salty, right? I have the featured snippet, I have the image. Here you can see, this is the example. So this is the featured snippet from this website, but voila, this is another URL, another domain with this image. That means that the content, the paragraph, belongs to one website and the image belongs to another website. Why? Because this is the right format. These guys over here, they didn't have the right format. That's why if people are going to click on the image, they're not going to this website. They're going to this website. That's why you need to have both the right size of the image and the right amount of words for the featured snippet. Okay, so for the people also as result, we also have the question, here the answer, the URL, and a related link, a search link for the next question. So for the Netherlands, we analyzed 1 million keywords, and we saw that 8% of them, they have people also as results, which is good, but it's not impressive. Why? Because as you can see here, the amount of keywords for the Netherlands is 100 to 1,000. So that's mostly on default. Why? Because people that are asking, for example, how to open a bank account. I know that you have two big banks here, right? I don't remember the names. How to open a bank account. The volume of those searches are here, or how to pay for home expenses, how to ask for delivery to something. So these kind of questions that people are asking in the Netherlands are by default. there are not companies that are working a lot. There are several companies that are working a lot with the results. Mostly they are banks and insurance companies, but the rest of them are only by default. So let's take a look at a little bit of the anatomy of this kind of results. So for example, the type of results that we saw in People Also Ask are pretty much the same as in the feature snippets. Why? Because they have the paragraph, they have the list, they have the table. The paragraph in the Netherlands is mostly 50%, then we have the list, the 40%, and the table, 8%, which is, this is impressive. And of course, if you want to see, okay, how this type of results are affecting me, or they can affect me on the future, we have a tool called Sensor on SEMrush that is telling you, like the Weather Channel, how Google is changing their algorithm. So they're showing you the fluctuations on the results. And as you can see here, this for the Netherlands, yeah, People Also Ask, 42% daily. So most of the questions are changing daily. You can see here for other results, what is changing, what is not changing. This based on a single, on a daily base. All these changes on a daily base. So as you can see here, the presence of this type of results on the Netherlands, on the industry. Most of them we have on science, which makes sense, university, technology, computers, finance, internet, telecom, but there are not a lot of questions that they have the results, as People Also Ask, in the real estate. Travel, they are increasing a lot in travel. Autos and vehicles, news, hobbies and leisure. So overall, it's not that bad. Mostly 100% of science is going to be reached very soon. Computer electronics. There are a lot of questions in certain industries in the Netherlands that they don't have results, enough results yet. So for this, we can see that in most of the cases, appearing on a People Also Ask result is something really related to a mobile device, as you can see here. So they appear more often on mobile devices. And just a reminder, a couple of years ago, Google changed their algorithm for the first mobile index. So most of the results right now are measured by that, mobile devices, mobile search, and of course here, as we can see, there's some surprising thing. What is? So these are the feature snippets. For example, this is the presence of the People Also Ask, not only with feature snippets. They are coming with every single result with Google. We have People Also Ask with instant answers, top histories, with carousel images, videos carousel, feature snippet, knowledge panel, top ads, with most of them. So we have a lot of these results everywhere. And also for mobile devices, it's even more. With every single feature snippet, mostly they have People Also Ask, top stories, instant results, see results about, videos carousel. So these type of results are growing really fast on Google. And of course, we find out that in order to rank for to position a People Also Ask result, Google is not having any difficulty to give the change to everyone. Why? Because if you remember our research on voice search, you need to be at the top 3, right? In order to be a voice search result. But here, we found out that, okay, doesn't matter what number of page you are coming, if you are in the first, second, if it's better if you are in the 10 page of Google or in the 100 page of Google, you're gonna be showing on the People Also Ask box. So suddenly, Google is given a chance to be on that result to everyone, just to take the format. Just take the format, and if you are opening a web page today with the appropriate content, with the format that I was telling you, you can be here in the first result. That's something really interesting. For mobile devices, it's even more, 80%. And if you are in the second 20 page of Google, you can be in the position 0 with a People Also Ask result as well. That was really impressive. How to benefit? So let's go with the few advices. First one, to be in a feature snippet, you need to identify the right keywords. So the ones that you already have. For example, here you can see this is a tool called Keyword Magic Tool. And if you want to understand how people are searching for your product service, just put here the name of your keyword and go to questions, and you will have the list of the questions that people are already using to find that. Or you can go to this other tool. This is this is domain analysis, and you can see here the feature snippet button. So I was in India at the beginning of this year as well, in a conference like, well, not like this. We had 3,000 people there, all non-marketeers, just business owners. And I asked, okay, now you know what is feature snippet. So can anyone tell me how many feature snippet they have? Nobody was answering the question. I just asked a guy over there, do you have any feature snippets? No. Can you tell me the name of your domain? Okay, I just put it the name of the domain, and I found out this number. That's why I'm using this presentation, 143 feature snippets. Okay, that's a lot of feature snippets. You didn't know that you own those feature snippets. If you don't have the knowledge, because Google is not gonna tell you or call you or send you an SMS, congratulations, you have a feature snippet. You need to check that on a tool in order to understand. If you're not aware that you own a feature snippet, your competitors can come and just change that result and have the position for you. So these are the numbers, just to take knowledge how to be already with. If you have already keywords, question keywords, preposition keywords, already in the top 5, these are the numbers. This is the probability that you can have that feature snippet. So being on the top 3 is the most relevant one. Second one, format your content for feature snippet. What do you need to do? So use lists, tables, and images. This is an example from Boston, from a location. So this is the kind of results that we're going to have in a couple of months, I believe, in Europe. So how to change a tire. And this is like a GIF, an image GIF, right? Here, where do you want to change a tire? On a car, on a bike, on a motorcycle, where? And you have different companies showing their feature snippet in the same result. So where is the first result, the first organic result? Where is everything? Everything is here, because everything is shown by snippets. Turn your authoritative pages into feature snippet hubs. What is a hub? A hub is a place where they have a lot of things in common. Like here, for example, we are a hub or marketeers trying to share our knowledge. So for that, you need to have all the pages working for one single purpose, to have more feature snippet, using all the advices that I started talking about. And of course, all those pages need to be linked. Let me show you this. So this is the hub and spoke model. You have one piece of content, and all the other channels of marketing need to work for that piece of content. Here you can have your email marketing campaigns, social media, podcasts, another landing pages if it's a product. You can have here a webinar, you can have a conference speech. All the other channels are working to give that page more relevance for getting feature snippets. And of course, this is the last one, the most difficult part is amplifying that for social signals. If it's not relevant for social signals, that means that it's not relevant for people, because they're not going to be willing to share those results. So the pyramid, the last point, is blogger and PR outreach. Do we have journalists here in the room? Okay, if you find a journalist, you need to be friends with them, because that's the kind of results that you need for your website. And of course, how do I know if I have a feature snippet? Just go to SEMrush or any other tool that they have competitive intelligence, and you can see, okay, position tracking, voila, I have feature snippets or not. Very easy. And of course, you can go one by one, just measure, just type in, I have a feature snippet, no, I have a feature snippet, but better use a tool to automate that. And of course, find more ideas like this. This is the topic research, where you can find, for a simple topic, all the questions related to that topic. This is another tool that we added a couple of years ago. And the last thing, Don't be afraid of changing the content that you have right now. Why? Because feature snippets are here to stay because they are the foundation of voice search. Use that. And of course, some of my strategies here. Put your client's content on, for example, on SlideShare or Quora. That's really, really good for experimenting on feature snippet. Again, Australia, February this year, I was with some students. They say, okay, we didn't pass the exams for summer. We didn't pass the exam for summer, and we need to create a table feature snippet just to understand where we need to go in September. So they create a table just saying, okay, I didn't pass the exam, what's happening, how to find where I need to go if I didn't pass the exam on maths. That was the search query. And the result was they created a table with the name of the professor, with the name of the class, and it was indexed by Google in 3 hours. They didn't need to expect days. It was really, really fast. So Google is investing a lot of time on this type of result. We need to use that. Thank you very much.
Fernando, thanks for that. Do we have time for some little bit questions? Becky, you're right to hold on for a little bit. A couple of questions. Here we go. We're gonna start using this. All right, this young man here. Yes. Go on, Fernando.
Nice
one.
Yeah. I wanted to understand. You were talking about these specific questions. How do you know if it's better to do a paragraph snippet or a list snippet for that specific question?
Yeah, when you have a strategy, for example, you already know your user. You know where exactly he is on the buyer journey. He's on the stage of just awareness. So if I want to buy a house, for example, I have a family with kids, I'm the stage of awareness. I'm going to ask several questions. Where to find kinders near to my place, what I need, a house, a department. So I'm going to ask a lot of questions. For doing that, in the case that you need to use paragraph, informational questions. If you are in the next stage, which is consideration, so I already know all the questions, I want to know some details. I'm going to use the prepositions. So house with garage, house with pool. In that case, you need to use list. So the benefits from house with garage are these one. How to choose a house with garage. So it needs to be part of your strategy. But I mainly recommend to use list everywhere. If you have 2 lists in the same piece of content, you're going to have at least one chance to have a feature snippet. But you need to check if that question, because most of the questions they are already been taken by other companies, you need to check if they have the proper format, the proper structure.
And just a follow-up question. I know there is, like, if you search a specific keyword, you're able to see the questions. But how are you able to see if you search a specific question, are you able to identify the related questions that people are looking for?
Well, that's also, in this case, you can do it manually, but it's going to take you weeks, months, or years. You can use or topic research by SEMrush, or the tool that everybody loves is Answer the Public, right? You put the question there, your keyword, and you will have the list of other related questions. But the thing is that Answer the Question is really good for finding that. But if you want an Answer the Question with asteroids, you can use SEMrush, and you will have also the volumes and the related data for that. You just need to use tools.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Time for one more question. This young lady there, yeah. Yeah, go pass it on. Yeah, go on.
Sure. Hi.
Hi.
I was wondering, you gave us a lot of statistics, and some of them are pretty interesting, like average amount of words per paragraph, I think the number of external links, images, things like that. How large was your sample? So just wondering where you got the data from and how large that sample size was before you got to the point of giving us these insights with numbers. And then also, if you guys directly create feature snippets for your clients, and usually how long does that take to get to the point where they are exhibited?
Thank you. I understand the Two questions, right?
Yes, sorry,
The first
I'm
one,
trying to
the
fit it
source of data
Exactly.
is our own data, 80 million feature snippets. So with the most popular questions, we use 8 million of keywords. So 80 million feature snippets that have been activated by 8 million keywords. That's our own data, just the most popular one. I can give you my card. You can come to our booth. I can give you the link to our research.
Okay.
Your second question was?
So if you wanted to, if you had a client that was looking to
We are
have-
doing, for clients. No, we are a data provider. We are developing tools for others to do that. But you can check if your content is well written. You can check all the metrics that I show in our tools. We are not doing that for clients. But our clients, I was in Latin America 3 weeks ago doing this kind of presentation, and I have every day people from Peru, Chile, Colombia, Argentina telling me, Fernando, I have my feature snippet.
Okay,
So these
cool.
things works.
Great. Good. Another round of applause for Fernando. Thank you very much.